Hi buddy, Paul here from Ballistic Blood Bullets, looking at horror on TV in a terrifying old school 90s made production, and also horror on film in some classic, really creepy old style stuff, starring a real horror icon. Now the video is in fact and also an entry to a contest by the Geek Legion of Doom, and that's Leo and Pauline, of course. So Greek Leg of Lamb and Lady Leg of Lamb, and Leo's fantastic channel. He's hit 2,000 subscribers, and I'm sure he's way over that now as well. And he's very kindly doing a giveaway contest, and he's got a very cool choice of movie titles as a prize to give away as well. Leo set us 3 questions that he'd like answered, and of course throwing in a bit of fun as well. He's a great lover of B movies, and he knows that I love the B movie stuff as well, so pleasure to do this video. But let's get into the questions. Question number 1 is, if you could remake a TV show into a Hollywood film, what would it be? Well, for me, there's always been a classic horror TV show series, and that's touching very much on the intro to this video. The show indeed is really literally a hot property back in the mid-90s, and a real horror show it was indeed, called The Burning Zone. Now, 19 episodes of this great show from 1996 to 1997. Sadly, it is one of those shows that was never completed, and it should have had a second series running as well. Had issues, and the company that made the series clearly didn't want it to continue, but the fans wouldn't let it die, and even to this day they very much support the show, and we want to see it released on DVD, or at least shown again on television. The storyline with Burning Zone is about a covert government team of virologists, and they're led by a Dr. Cassian as part of a biological task force to investigate and protect and eradicate biological threats to the nation and world. And let's just show a little taster of The Burning Zone in picture form here. Hey, what's up, Chucky? Here we are, back again, and continuing with The Burning Zone goodness. Now, Dr. Cassian also co-ops into his team to track down an insidious group of people known as the Dawn, whose aim is to eliminate the human race itself. Superb show, this one, and for the post-Watershed audience, really very entertaining, hard-hitting stuff as well. And from the very first episode, it's gory, violent, oppressive, and as addictive and fresh as series shown on TV can be. It's like Ebola is but a small threat compared to what is unleashed, and self-aware pathogen takes human form, or human host, to give notice of its intent, and pernicious intent indeed for mankind. A real threat, and a really well done practical good horror effects in the show. Stars a young Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and he would indeed still now be perfect to reprise that role and head up the unit for the big screen itself. So there we are, answer to question number 1. If you could remake a TV show into a Hollywood film, what would it be? It would be The Burning Zone. Next question posed is, favourite movie villain and why? Well, like many a young kid growing up in the 70s, for me it was Star Wars. Saw Star Wars when I was young at the cinema, loved it, and it is just the most memorable cinematic experience of my entire life. Stayed with me forever and ever and ever, and it is fantastic. And of course, the big bad guy in Star Wars is Darth Vader, and he is iconic as far as I'm concerned. Really is one of the best screen villains going. But we don't want to go there. We want something different, so I'm going to choose something going back from quite a while, throwback to the 1930s. So, in true Star Wars tradition, these aren't the films you're looking for. But this is. Yep, so here it is, my favourite nominated horror. Well, not horror, just movie villain is the question. My favourite movie villain goes back to the 1930s. I'm going to choose a couple of movies. And the character, well, not so much the character's the scary part of this, but the actor is the legendary horror actor Peter Lorre. And the movie we're looking at is Fritz Lang's incredible M, one of the great German films from the 1930s, and this was made in 1931. Now, Peter Lorre, he was a young actor in his prime, in his early films, late 20s into the 30s, and into the early 40s as well. But I think most people, they tend to remember Peter Lorre as being the sort of horror, jovial support actor in films during the 60s, and particularly alongside the great Vincent Price in the movies from Roger Corman. Of course, we're talking about The Raven and Tales of Terror. But it's here in 1931 as the eerie, truly eerie child murderer in this great classic Fritz Lang movie, whose character is hunted down not just by the police but also by the criminal underworld as well. This is how unpleasant and how eerie, as I say, this character is that Peter Lorre plays. So that's M, but not going to stop there. I'm going to do a double delivery of real eeriness from Peter Lorre. So we got M and also Mad Love. Now this is the one that I'm going to put a picture up here right now to show you what we're talking about as far as his character is concerned from Mad Love, and it really is one of the great horror performances in character makeup from Peter Lorre. So there we are, pretty incredible stuff. Now, Mad Love, made in 1935, so 4 years after the incredible M. Peter Lorre here, he's an insane and obsessed surgeon who replaces the hands of a decent man, a concert pianist. So a great man with a great talent and a great future, but he replaces the hands with a knife-throwing killers, unbeknownst to the concert pianist. And the movie Mad Love is also known as The Hands of Orlok, and Peter Lorre is Dr. Gogol in this, and it is a truly original scene of classic screen horror when Gogol appears in this character mode for a short period during the movie, about halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, and it just sets up this visage of real evil incarnate, and it threatens someone of his pernicious doings. And Peter Lorre here just really personifies old school villainy at its best in M and Mad Love, aka The Hands of Orlok. So my favourite movie villain is Peter Lorre. Okay, last but not least, third question from Greek Leg of Lamb is favourite franchise. Marvel versus DC here for me, and I'm going to declare right away that I'm a Marvel fan from growing up, first and foremost. And DC, great stuff, of course, with Batman here we're looking at, and the iconic Spider-Man. But I've always felt that between the two, really, Marvel has the more believable, character-driven characters, and less fantastical than DC, with only really Batman being a multi-layered DC character grounded in contemporary real-life assimilation. But growing up, it was always Spider-Man, Wolverine, Fantastic Four, X-Men. Okay, some fantastical characters there, but just felt that it was that little bit more adult, that little bit more believable. It's a little bit more indifferent these days with Marvel. They're going the sort of real child-friendly route, but there's some good stuff there still. On the comic book front, I do tend now to go with more of the independent ones. But yeah, to answer the question, for me, between Marvel and DC, it's Marvel, and gotta love the old Spider-Man, and looking forward to seeing what they finally do with the character to make it right after failing so dreadfully with recent incarnations on the big screen. So looking forward to that. But to answer the question, between Marvel and DC, big thumbs up from Marvel for me. So that's it. Hopefully that answers all the questions for you, Leo. And thank you for running the contest, and good luck to everybody that enters. Anybody that shouldn't know about the Geek Legion of Doom, details below, gets my highest recommendation. Do drop along, do say hello. Leo knows his stuff, and he loves his B movies, and he does regular reviews, and he does some out and abouts as well. It's a really good, fun channel. Do check it out. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. As I say, good luck to everybody in the competition, and thank you once again to the Geek Legion of Doom. Take care, everybody. See you all soon. Bye for now.